Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're going to talk about the top 5 EV stocks that we can look to trade next week. Before I get started, I always ask that you smash that like button, comment below if I missed any details throughout this video, or if you have anything you'd like to share, and also feel free to subscribe to the 9 to 5 Trader channel. What you get is weekly uploads from yours truly, including a Sunday stock watchlist video where I give you guys a preview of some of the stocks I'm watching next week. Now, how I like to start all these videos is first do an overview of the market conditions. I think it's good that we take a step back, look at the bigger picture for both Wall Street and the EV market itself before jumping into these stocks. So I'm going to lay that out for you. So let's first review some of the major catalysts that are going on in Wall Street right now. So we have Pfizer and BioNTech that have recently applied for an emergency FDA approval for the COVID vaccine. Now, if this gets approved, expect that to serve as a major catalyst. Now, with that news, we also have been seeing a steady increase in COVID-19 cases across the country. We're starting to see a lot of states retract. We've seen unemployment rates go up. We need to keep all this in mind. Even though things are looking good and there's a light at the end of the tunnel, in the tunnel as of right now, it is still dark, and we need to consider all these factors. With that being said, we might start to see another value rotation. So in my last week's video, we talked about how there was a value rotation. So essentially, the NASDAQ was starting to go down as the Dow and S&P went up. Now we might start see this rotation again. We might see the NASDAQ go up and the Dow and S&P go down. This is because, again, we're starting to see states retract. So expect a lot of strong technology stocks to do well. A lot of your stay-at-home stocks, so we need to keep that in mind as well. And then last, we have the election talks. Now, Trump, he's still persistent and still fighting. But with that being said, I haven't seen any official declaration that Biden is the new president. So if we do see some kind of news like that, I would expect that to serve as a catalyst. We could really start to see a pump, especially for these EV stocks. Now we have a little bit of a grasp on the market conditions for Wall Street as a whole. Let's talk about the EV markets. Now with the EV market, these have been consistently the top 3 catalysts we've seen over the last few weeks. So anything relating to Tesla, that is a huge influence typically with any of these EV market stocks. There's been new EV companies arising through SPAC acquisitions and things like that. So that's also just building on to the market. And then we've had tremendously great results with a lot of these EV stocks coming out with their earnings. So we need to keep all these in mind. So those are your market conditions and those are your EV market conditions. Let's finally jump into the watch list here. I'm going to go through my top 5, do a quick technical analysis, give you guys a little bit of an overview about the company, and then we'll go from there. So here we have NIO, NIO, ticker symbol. Everyone's familiar with it. Now, some major catalysts that are up and coming for this company, they will be having a NIO day. Now, I was hearing about that more in January. That might have changed. But all in all, this company has been receiving great momentum. Now, this company has true valuation, even if the stock price does not reflect that. But we need to keep that in mind, and it's making it a lot more attractive to investors. And I still think this stock has a lot more room to run. So let's pay attention to that. Right now, I'm seeing a little bit of a progressively bullish flag around here. And then we're seeing that support level follow around here. Now, what I'm going to do is set an alert in the bearish direction on this identified support level and see if it will continue down. And then I'll set one also in the inverse direction, which will be at this identified resistance level. Next, we have Solo, ticker symbol SOLO. Check the link above. I made a detailed video about this company, very useful information. If I look at this company outside looking in, it seems like it's going through a lot of induced pump and manipulation. Now, it doesn't mean there's not true value here, but in my opinion, Solo has a lot more to prove, so we need to be cautious and cognizant of that situation. So yes, it's on a nice run right now, like a lot of these EV stocks, but it's not like NIO. NIO has been proving numbers, things like that. They've had consistent delivery results, so we need to keep all this in mind. Now, I've identified a resistance level here, so we can use that as a reference, but again, it's only hit it about one time, if not in the interim, so we need to be careful there. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to zoom in a little further. We're going to look at the 5 days. So this is the last week for this stock. Now, in my opinion, direction is very unclear. You know, we saw somewhat of a double top resistance level around here and a support level around here. Now, it has broken through that and is starting to identify new trends. Now, sometimes resistance levels do become new supports, and as it's approaching that and it's starting to consolidate quite a bit, it begs the question, is it testing this previously identified resistance level and finding it as a new support? So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to set an alert for the bearish direction and see if it breaks through there. And then I will set one around this region, more above this middle VWAP purple line here, just to see if it starts indicating bullish signs for me. Next, we have KXIN. So this company, just kind of like Solo, there's a lot of hype with this, and I feel even more uncomfortable with the fact that they're not really an EV producer. So the reason why we've seen hype recently with this is that they went into a binding term sheet with a company known as Hitachi. And Hitachi, they do a lot with automotives. And the only thing that really happened is Hitachi mentioned that they're going to get into the EV market, and that was it. So that was enough of a catalyst, you know, with the culmination of all the other things going on in the EV market. So I really think that's why we saw a huge pump. I'd be very careful with this stock. I'm just sharing it for the sake of this video because it is very popular and a lot of people are watching it. So I'm giving you guys my 2 cents now. Direction is very unclear. Again, I'd be very careful with this. We can see a huge sell-off upon market open Monday morning, so be very careful with this stock. Again, direction's unclear. I want to see this kind of ride out for another full week and really see what it does, and then maybe we can see some true valuation there. But again, there's not a whole lot here. Be careful with this, and that is my 2 cents. The most I'm going to do is I'm going to set an alert in the bearish direction because I don't know how much more bullish direction this has. It's somewhat found a support here, but again, there's not a lot of information here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call that my support, set an alert here for the bearish direction, and then if it goes up, it goes up, but I'm being careful with this one here. Next, we have AYRO. So I just made a video about this company. It's looking pretty good, very similar to Solo. Check the link above, detailed video again on this company. So AYRO, again, it's following a lot of this momentum that we've been recently seeing. So we need to be careful with this. We don't know if it can sell off. I think this company has good potential as an investor, but they still have a lot more to prove. So we need to be cognizant of that. So the last I saw with this is it found somewhat of a support around here. Not too bad. And I'm going to set an alert for that bearish direction. Say it does go that direction. Now I'm also going to set one around here. It has found a nice double top at this resistance level. And so I will set an alert in that direction as well, indicating signs of bullish momentum. So last, we have FCEL Energy, ticker symbol FCEL. Good company to look into. So a lot of this is pretty good hype and momentum due again to kind of the EV market. So one thing we need to know about this company is that they produce hydrogen fuel cells. So one thing I've typically seen with this is that as oil consumption goes up, this company goes up. So as the market recovers, this stock will typically go with it. Now, it is pumping a lot. Again, that's part of that is the EV market. So we'll kind of follow a lot of green initiatives or green initiative catalysts. So typically as oil gets consumed, the more attractive a hydrogen fuel cell alternative looks. So we need to keep all that in mind. And that is why we are seeing that positive correlation. So I like the way it's looking right now. I'm going to zoom a little more into here intraday. This is the 10-day chart, the last 2 weeks for this stock. Now with this stock, I do see a very clear resistance level about here. It has hit it about 3 times, aka triple top. And we're seeing a little bit of a support here, not as clear. So I'm gonna be a little more conservative and mark where it has found a very strong support there. What I'm gonna do with this, I'm gonna set an alert again in the bullish direction or bearish direction first. If it drops below that support level I'm calling, and then for the resistance level, which it has hit quite a few times, if it can really break through here, it is really showing bullish momentum. So I'd like to pay attention to that. And we'll go from there. Now, those are your top EV market stocks for next week. Again, I mentioned and gave my disclosure for some of these that are inducing a lot of that momentum, a lot of overhypeness right now. All these companies, all in all, they're overvalued in accordance to their stock price. But again, some of these look a lot more attractive, such as NIO. So just be very careful when you're investing your hard-earned money. Like this video if it helped you out. Comment below if I missed any details, and also feel free to subscribe to the 9 to 5 Trader channel. Now, recently I just created a Discord channel for our community, so check out that link below. That Discord channel is now live and it's completely free, so feel free to join the community. That's all I have for today, guys. Good luck to you next week, and happy trading.